Really?
Really what?
That hat today.
What about it?
328.
Okay, March 28th.
Whatever, forget it. Welcome back to the Truth Room, guys. Today we're going to talk about Gronk's retirement, Jared Cook, Isaiah Crowell, the pass interference change of the rule.
Yep. We're going to talk a little bit about Robert Kraft.
And also Mark Davis. Yeah.
What happened with Mark Davis?
We'll talk about it.
Okay, let's get into it.
All right. So Gronk retires.
Gronk retires.
79 touchdowns, 7,861 yards, 521 receptions. Is he the greatest tight end to ever play?
The greatest at his peak, at his prime. In my opinion, the greatest ever.
Okay. So hold on. I gotta clarify this. The greatest ever, or the greatest ever at his prime?
At his prime. But I didn't see somebody play in the 70s either.
True.
But from what I've seen, and I've been watching football a long time.
Ahead of Tony Gonzalez?
Yes, ahead of Tony Gonzalez. And Antonio Gonzalez, Tony Gonzalez was a great tight end in pass blocking, run blocking, receiving.
What about Antonio Gates?
I believe he's better than Antonio Gates simply because in his prime, he came out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Defenses weren't expecting it, just like they didn't expect the Wildcat offense or the read option when it first came out. No one saw Antonio Gates coming. Defenses didn't know what to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
So until some game film comes, like defense, and it happens with every new style of offense.
Okay, I get your point.
But Gronk was sustainably great when he played on the field.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Sustaining it. With our debates, longevity is a big point in my career. That's the only reason I have Tony Gonzalez ahead of him, and he's the only one I have ahead of him.
Yeah.
But do you think the Patriots skip a beat?
I do not. They didn't every game he missed last year.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah.
But I want to put into a little bit more of this. He only played 9 years. In 9 years, he got 79 touchdowns. That's tied for 28th all time. That's wide receivers and everything.
I want to say he was the third fastest to reach that number as well.
And then that's ridiculous. He was 29 years old. His short career. This reminds me a lot of Barry Sanders retiring very early.
Calvin Johnson.
Oh my God. Yeah, I think it's. Oh my God. Yeah, but
it's right up there with those retirements. You're not wrong there.
Gronk was great.
Yes, of course. He's a Hall of Famer. That's why it's crazy for me to think this way. But I also think Patriots. It's their system. The 6 Super Bowls that Tom Brady's won, Gronk's only been a part of 3 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a legacy. It's a dynasty.
Yeah, and they even ran 2 tight ends, back in the day with,
Aaron Hernandez. I know.
I had both of them on my fantasy team at one point.
Yeah.
And, I had to flex one and play one at tight end, and I was murdering people.
Get out of here, man. Get out of here. We're going to go ahead and move topics. But while we're talking about tight ends, Jared Cook. We've already mentioned a little bit about him in videos previously. But I was even on record saying Jared Cook and Ben Thomas were interchangeable, which I still believe to be somewhat true.
Yeah.
But I do believe Jared Cook gets a bump up. What?
Okay.
I'm pivoting.
No.
Aaron Hernandez over here.
Yeah, that's what
Just
I'm
murdering folks.
And we peeking out, dude.
But no, I do believe Jared Cook gets a bump up from last year's. I get he was the tight end number 5, but he was also playing with Derek Carr, and now he's playing in the New York.
Just start calling them the
New Yorkland Saints, and I mean that offense is explosive. There's Michael Thomas, there's Alvin Kamara, maybe some Latavius Murray, but you don't really have too many other people to throw the ball to. He thinks Traquan Smith. I felt that all last season. I'm not getting behind that bus anymore.
He's good.
He's good. He is good. Drew Brees even just came out and said he trusted him, but like I trusted what Drew Brees said, and I picked him up and I'm playing him. I got goose egg 3 weeks in a row. Goose.
Yeah. On my advice to play him. This is the week, Casey. Sometimes we're wrong. We can't predict the future, but it happens. I think Traquan is a good wide receiver, and he is definitely good for a number 2 aside Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
But anyway, you were saying that they're interchangeable. I think Jared Cook is a much greater threat.
He is,
as far as receiving tight end.
But Ben Watson, for the half a season, he wasn't sharing snaps.
Yeah.
He was decent. He was all right for fantasy. And then, for some reason, he was sharing snaps with somebody. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But
Me neither.
he was all right.
All right, if you're desperate in a 12-team, 16-team league, you might have to start somebody like that. But I am tired of talking about this, so let's talk about this pass interference. On deck beer. You're spilling it. That's alcohol abuse. I want to talk about this pass interference. What does this do?
Oh,
A new league. They had their annual owners meeting.
the annual league meeting.
Sure.
They changed the pass interference rule. Now calls and non-calls can be reviewed.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think this impacts the game?
I think it's going to be aggravating at first,
Yeah.
but I also think that it's going to turn out to be a great rule change.
I personally do not like the rule change. I hear people out there saying this is huge, this would have changed the NFC Championship, this would have changed the Super Bowl. First of all, the NFC Championship game, that blown call, Saints fan here, that blown call should have never happened, and that's a 1 in a million things. Like, what's the last time you've seen that bad of a blown call in sports? And just get it right.
Well,
and in the Super Bowl, I honestly believe in the heat of the moment, if that play went to review, which I did see the pull on Brandon Cook's arm, but if that play goes to review, I don't see the refs overruling it.
They did admit publicly.
Oh, I know what they said.
They said
That it would have changed it.
It would have changed.
Well, let that happen, like, in the heat of the moment, you review the play. They said that months later. I think that was all a ploy just to get owners and coaches to jump on board and vote for the rule change.
Yeah, they were tied. They
They were tied 4-4, and the very next day they went 8-0.
Yeah, I can see why. Well, that would be a very strategic move to say this would have changed the Super Bowl.
Because nobody wants to see the Patriots win the Super Bowl.
I mean, a few people do. A lot of people do.
They're even tired of it. But also, going back to your point, you're saying I could see it being aggravating. And I 100% agree. Because last year, when they tried to enforce the roughing the passer rule, you would see textbook perfect tackles from people like Clay Matthews on people, on
15-yard penalty.
15-yard penalties. And it just like every time you turned around, 15-yard flags are being thrown.
If that's worth 15 yards, Vontaze Burfict should get 30-yard penalties.
But I'm just saying, it was aggravating to watch games in the beginning of the season last year. But after about week 3 or 4, they kind of figured things out.
Yeah, they got it going. It sped the game up. But
my biggest concern with this rule is there is pass interference on every play. I went back and I looked up the ruling of it, and it says anything that hinders the wide receiver from catching the ball, and then it lists sections A through G. When most of them are A and B.
G.
A through G. And most of them are A, B, maybe C.
7 subsections.
Maybe, in most of them you have 3. You have 7 subsections of breaking down of Was this guy putting his hands on him? Was this guy blah, blah, blah? And
Pass interference.
exactly. That happens on every play. And the whole rule of the review is the letter of the law. If you're going by letter of the law, you can just take a Hail Mary, throw it deep. Oh, there was pass interference. That's a 60-yard play now.
Do you know?
If I'm a coach, I'm drawing that up in my playbook.
Yeah. Okay. I get that too. But now it's a rule, and you can use that if you have. You can use that to your advantage.
Mm-hmm.
It changes everything. But what I love the most about this rule is the final 2 minutes.
Okay.
Of the half.
Yes.
Like
You're right.
it's under. It comes from the booth, just
Mm-hmm.
like any other challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if that happens in the final 2 minutes,
It's up to the officials.
yeah,
I got
they're
you.
not. Gonna,
I like that
they're
part.
not going to be, super crazy about
Like I was
unless
saying, you're not throwing Hail Marys with 3 seconds left and hoping for a pass interference
It's not
because
gonna
it's up
affect
to the
that.
refs.
Yeah.
I got you.
So it's not going to affect that. If they don't
But-
call it on the field and it's not blatant,
Mhm.
that's what they're probably going to be looking for, like the flagrant shit.
Yeah. But like I said, that the missed call in the NFC game, call that never should even. The missed call should never happen.
You know what else should have ever happened? This whole Robert Kraft situation.
It really shouldn't. If I'm a billionaire, you think I'm going to some rub and tug place in a shopping plaza?
Rotug.
I mean,
Well, we don't know all the details on this, but I mean, it's completely legal in certain parts of Nevada.
Nevada.
I mean, yeah, Las Vegas. We've got a team going to Las Vegas. Not this year, but next year. They're going to play one more year in Oakland. I mean, come on, Mark Davis. Guess what?
Mark Davis. Have y'all ever seen this guy? He's the type of guy who needs to be in a place where prostitution is legal. Because take one look at this man's haircut. I mean, I'm for real. I know I'm not the best looking man. I'm just saying. Take one look at this guy.
Well,
But anyways, back to Robert Kraft.
Robert Kraft elects. He pleads not guilty.
Not guilty.
And he elects for a trial.
Take that shit picture.
Yeah. You got what reason? We're speculating.
Okay.
But why would this be happening?
I honestly can't tell you because supposedly they have him on video.
They have him on video doing what?
Sexual activities.
Is not a crime.
If you pay for them,
Do they have him on video exchanging cash?
they have
I
maybe
doubt
not
it.
cash.
I doubt it.
Maybe not cash, but they have him entering that place,
Uh-huh.
getting sexual favors, leaving the place. They even pulled him over
Uh-huh.
and checked his ID because they just pulled him over for a random traffic stop.
Yeah.
You know it's him. We know what happened, or we don't know what happened, but they know things happened. He better have a damn good lawyer, which I'm sure he does. But honestly, I think it's nothing.
I'm assuming that, his attorney has access to whatever video that the police do. And, hey, we can beat this.
Hey, they beat Spygate. They beat Deflategate.
Mhm.
Now they're going to beat Ejaculate. Oh, God. I mean, money talks.
Money does talk, but we gotta get on deck beer here.
On deck here. But, honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I just think people like to hate the Patriots. I also think, okay, top her off. I also think Isaiah Correll going to the Raiders, fantasy-wise, might be...
I want to know, before we talk about the fantasy aspect of it, is it a good move for the Raiders?
For the Raiders, yes. Because on our very last show, I said, you don't know if Marshawn Lynch is coming back.
He's
Doug-
not now. I assure
Most
you.
likely not. I agree with that.
That's my opinion.
Doug Martin, also, it's not on anybody's roster right now. So Jalen Richard was your number one. Now you got Isaiah Crowell, who had flashes in New York. He also has stolen opportunities. He had other guys filling in for him. He's not a bad back. He's got some talent there. If you give him the opportunity, he might do some things. New York didn't have the receivers last year.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the focus of the offense.
And before that, when he was with the Browns, they had not a really good offensive line.
They didn't have a really good anything.
Obviously. But I think Isaiah Crowell, like if you got somebody like Antonio Brown, Tyrell Williams to spread things out.
For me, he's a person I can take it.
They spend a little money on the O-line too.
I mean, they got him fairly cheap.
Oh yeah,
they got him really cheap
because of his production, which to me is not based on his talent, but based on pieces that were around him.
No, but for me, he's a guy. He's a double shot. Somebody who's had talent and opportunities and is flashing those places.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I'm not drafting him high in fantasy.
You don't have to.
Exactly. But I'm gonna have to take a double shot to start this guy. I mean, I will take those ugly points just like I'll take that ugly girl home at the end of the night. I'm gonna have to take a double for it, but I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. Well,
might need to edit that out.
No, we ain't editing that out.
But yeah, I do think it's good for the Raiders offense because now you have a 1-2 punch at the wide receiver because I like Tyrell. Tyrell really does have some talent. And you got Antonio Brown. And now you actually do have to worry about wide receivers and the running back.
Yeah. And from the eye test, like if you watch the man play, which is how I evaluate every player that I watch.
Did he have a 200-yard game for the Jets last year?
I don't know.
I'm very
sure,
positive
I know
he had a 200-yard game.
He had a monster game at one point.
I mean, and if people are that high on Derrick Henry for 4 games,
yeah,
I get not being that high.
My whole point is
that's what I'm saying.
The man can play.
The man can play, yeah.
I feel like this is a good move.
I feel like offensively, they just need to fill in a tight end, maybe upgrade a quarterback, but you can get by with who you got. Yeah. Oakland Raiders aren't going to be the same Oakland Raiders.
They're not going to win. How many games they win? Like 4 last year?
Something like that. They got the number 4th pick, I'm pretty sure.
They have the 4th pick.
Yeah, I could see them contending for a playoff spot. I'm not necessarily sure about making the playoffs because you have a bunch of question marks there. But they've done some work on defense as well.
Yeah.
They've signed 2 linebackers this last week.
And like I said, they spent some money on the offensive line. Gruden looked like a dummy at first, but overall, they did.
Yeah, that was my initial reaction. I mean, this guy traded away Khalil Mack, traded away Amari Cooper, and got all these first-round picks, and I was like, well, even if you hit on these first-round picks, what do you expect them to be? A Khalil Mack and Amari Cooper? Mm-hmm. But now he has gone out and signed an offensive tackle, a franchise wide receiver. He's made some moves on the defensive side of the ball, and he still has held on to all his first-round picks. Might be a genius, and they're his guys.
All he did was free up cap space to get the players that he wanted.
And
he's on a 10-year deal.
And all these first round picks, if he hits on them,
well,
they will be on rookie deals, just like you would have to pay up to have a Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
This draft is loaded with defensive pass rushers.
And guess what Gruden did in Tampa Bay back with
Warren
Sapp, like
Keyshawn
Warren Sapp, like John Lynch, like in my opinion the greatest hitter of all time, like that I was able to watch. Yeah. But anyway, if you like this video, if you like this podcast,
you know where to find us.
You can find us on Facebook,
YouTube, SoundCloud, Instagram, Twitter.
Just search The Truth Serum. You'll be able to dig through it. If you like us enough, you can find us. We're on pretty much every social media platform. we would appreciate all of your support. We're working on some new stuff. We got giveaways going on. We got all of it. We break news.
We got news, daily polls, updates.
Every day we got a new poll. That's a lot of people's favorite part of it. But we're beating like, you know, some big names on like breaking some news. Yeah. We're not going to go into that because we're not calling anybody out, but it is the truth.
All right, guys, keep it true.
Keep it true. Thanks for your support.